Welcome back for another video. In this video we'll be running through the Gameweek17 team. There's still a week till the deadline, so there's always potential for changes, but this is how the team's shaping up currently. There are also 8 League Cup fixtures before the Gameweek17 deadline, which may influence our teams as well. If you missed the 20 players to avoid video, make sure you give that a watch as well. A link will be on screen at the end. There's tons of content to help you out with the restart and finish on a good rank, so hit subscribe so you don't miss out. So let's get straight into the team, and in goal it's Ederson. You need at least one Man City defensive asset. Ederson or Cancelo are the two standouts. Akanji could be an option, who did start every game since Gameweek 8, but City do have Stones, Diaz, Laporte and Ake all available and competing. Man City have a confirmed double Gameweek 23, which is against Aston Villa and Arsenal, and a double Gameweek 20, which has about a 70% chance of happening. If Man City and Spurs don't draw their next FA Cup game, then the double Gameweek 20 is confirmed as well. Moving on to the defence, and the back three is James, Trippier and Dalot. Let me know whether you think Ederson is sufficient coverage for Cancelo in defence. As it stands, 13 points separates the two, however 2 mil also separates them. A lot to pay for a minimal difference so far. Obviously if we start to see last season's Cancelo, which we're all hoping for, then there's a very clear winner. Ederson does also enable room for James in this draft. Chelsea, another team with a double game week on the horizon, and it's the first of the season where they play against Man City and Fulham in Game Week 19. James's fitness is a concern, as he wasn't in the squad at all in Chelsea's last friendly, though reportedly both him and Fofana are back in light training. Man United come back from the break with perhaps the best 3 fixtures: home to Forest, away to Wolves and then home to Bournemouth. Dalot's an attacking fullback and only 4.8 mil, so he feels like he's worth a go. That said, we'll have to see what Man United's backline's looking like in Game Week 17, as it could be without Martinez and Varane from the World Cup final, perhaps Maguire and Lindelof in centre back. The midfield is De Bruyne, Saka, Martinelli and Rashford. I'm finding De Bruyne or Salah to be a tough one. Let me know which way you guys are leaning. Again, Martinez could be absent for Villa in goal, as he'll be back in Argentina for a victory parade. This should add to the appeal of Liverpool's fixture against Villa, and it'll be Olsen likely in goal. As it stands, it's De Bruyne who does make the draft though, which does save a transfer down the line, as he's got potentially 2 double game weeks, one in Game Week 20 and one in Game Week 23. De Bruyne does also have more points this calendar year, and more points per game. Arsenal have a free midweek slot in Game Week 21, so although it's not announced yet, they could also have a double game week there. On top of that, they've got a confirmed double game week in 23, which is the one with Man City. Saka's been excellent this season, and he continued his form to the World Cup. He's expected to be on penalty duties as well, so he's a very strong pick. You do wonder what impact Jesus' absence will have on Arsenal though. It'll be Nketiah who leads the line most games, which are big shoes to fill. Nketiah doesn't make this team, but for 6.5 mil it could be a very interesting pick and a massive differential. Last season he scored 5 goals in the final 7 games. We talked about Man United's fixtures earlier, and an attacker looks well worth it for those 3 games, after which point Man United face Man City and then Arsenal. Right before those tougher games, it looks like a clear opportunity to move him on, perhaps for someone with a double game week like Mount, Kulusevski or Son. The clear omission here in the midfield is Almiron. It is a gamble to go without him considering his form so far before the World Cup break, and 5.8 mil is a good price. It would be Martinelli that makes way if any midfielder were to leave the team for him. If it does pay off, then it's a good way to move up the ranks against the masses. So the front 3 is Nunez, Mitrovic and Haaland. His minutes are expected to be more secure, and with Aston Villa potentially without Martinez for the next fixture, he could be a key player. Despite not having a great World Cup with Uruguay, he was in good form prior to the break. Liverpool on the other hand haven't been performing at their best, and the break may have come at a good time for them to reset. Fulham have a double game week in Game Week 19, as you can see on the ticker under his name, which is against Leicester and Chelsea. 9 goals this season for only 6.8 mil, so he's an obvious pick. He is 1 yellow card away from suspension, which resets after he's played 19 games. Hoping we don't get another Maddison or Tony situation where a 5th yellow is picked up at the worst possible time. We talked a bit about Nketiah, who's a really under the radar pick who could thrive for about the same price as Mitrovic, but it is the double game week that edges it for Mitro. We'll skip Haaland and move on to the bench, which is Kepa, Gabriel, Andreas and Patterson. Now one easy criticism to make here is the money spent in goal: 5.4 mil for Ederson and 4.5 mil for Kepa, which is a lot on 2 keepers. Assuming that Kepa does assume the number 1 spot in goal again, it does however give you a route into a double game week 19, double game week 20 and double game week 23. Ward is 4.1 mil, so you're spending an extra 0.4 mil in a nutshell, which isn't significant. Let me know how you're shaping up in goal currently though. I've seen some drafts at the opposite end of the spectrum with Ward and Iversen double up. Gabriel's 0.1 mil cheaper than Saliba, and only has 2 less points over the season, plus a higher XG over the season. Saliba's also on 4 yellow cards, and if he picks up 1 more before he's played 19 games, he will be suspended for a match. We'll have to see what Arteta says, whether he's straight back into the team post World Cup final. Andreas is also a no-brainer with his double game week, though it could be a benching headache when Gameweek 19 rolls around. Patterson is preferred to Nico Williams now, as Nico was benched for 2 of the last 3 games before the break, and he was sharing minutes with Aurier. Patterson should assume the right wing-back spot again now he's back from injury, and he costs about the same as Nico. Everton do have a chance of getting a double Game Week 21 scheduled as well. So that's how the team's shaping up at the moment. To follow all the other important content to come, hit subscribe. And if this video was useful, please drop it a like. See you soon for the next one.